some barbecue. There's no doubt that I'm better than you. With these looks and these moves, you can't blame me for being so rude. The land of the red, white, and blue will be my home till the day I die.
Check.
I'm every lady's fantasy. I'm the American guy. The trailer park is where I'm from. You better believe I have about 27 guns. Baseball games, pickup trucks. I'm leagues above you other dumb schmucks. I'm from where the women are hot and the Twinkies are deep fried. And every day I pledge allegiance to God and country. I'm the American guy.
Happy Friday, December 4th, 2020, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Grant Pachoco, and welcome to the Filsinger Games Fan Podcast. This is episode number 117 for December 4th, 2020. That's right, the Filsinger Games Fan Podcast, the podcast that has set up camp near our mailbox because we're patiently waiting the new Filsinger game releases. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. It is great to be here. We have a lot of news. So excited and to talk about all this stuff. Before we go, I want to give a big shout out to the patrons who make this video and the other videos and productions done by Saturday Morning Media possible. Really appreciate them. If you're interested in becoming a patron, head on over to patreon.com/Saturday Morning Media. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the show. Just really appreciate it. I think we've gone over 400 downloads of the podcast, which is just awesome. It's really, really great that people are digging this. But let's not keep the people, meaning you, waiting. Let's get into the news. We have a lot of news. We're going to start off with, we're going to talk about all the stuff that's been announced for Filsinger Games so far for their big December releases, which are shipping very, very soon. So we're going to start with Champions of the Galaxy, and the Champions of the Galaxy, the big set that's coming out in December, is called Kronos Battle Lines. Now, there were no news updates for the actual set, Kronos Battle Lines itself, which I think is a 12-card set, if I'm remembering correctly. There were no updates about that, but we do have some info on Champions of the Galaxy Prime, the Prime cards, which there should be 3 of them, and it looks like we have 2 of them that have been announced. And the description is, look out, Category 5 and Torment have undergone drastic changes. Have they received a cleansing? The tag team division on Kronos is officially on notice. Can anyone survive a tag version of the Gladiator Pile Driver? These cards are part of Champions of the Galaxy Prime 2020, so if you're a member of that, you will get these cards. And also, they are part of the Kronos Battle Lines bonus pack, which you can order in addition to your copy of Kronos Battle Lines, that will give you everything you need to play this new edition. Both of these are available to, I should say, it'll give you all the cards needed to play this edition. I just want to make sure that that is clear. I don't believe it comes with dice and charts and all that kind of stuff, but if you are a promoter of any flavor, you probably have tons of charts and tons of dice and all that kind of stuff. So, but I think it comes with all the cards. Both are available to order now and will ship mid-December, and we're very close to mid-December, aren't we, ladies and gentlemen? Yes, we are just days away. Moving on now to Filsinger Games Independent Wrestling, and of course the big set for the Women of the Indies 2020 is Women of the Indies 2020. The new addition is Lainey Luck. The 8th and final member of the Women of the Indies 2020 roster is the party unicorn herself, Lainey Luck. The energetic Luck is sure to bring some fun to your ladies division with her sweet dance moves and her trademark yeet call when she's powering up for moves. Lainey has taken the Midwest Indies scene by storm the past 4 years and is sure to gain even more fans as she continues to branch out on the independent scene. So there you go. There is Lainey Luck coming to Women of the Indies 2020, available for pre-order right now. and shipping mid-December. Indies Prime, there was no news, but I do want to do a correction because I was wrong last episode, and I said that we had already seen art for Selena de la Renta, which is one of the 3 Indies Prime cards, and we have not seen that art. I mistake it for another piece of artwork that we saw. So that is my apologies. We have not seen that, and we have not seen the Willie Mack card, which I'm very excited to see because Willie is a great guy and a good friend. Moving on now to Legends of Wrestling, the big main event, what everybody is talking about. The Legends of Wrestling expansion set 6 is just days away from being released. I think Todd said he's still waiting for the cards, but they are on the way, and he's getting everything ready so that he can put the cards in the envelopes and get them mailed. Well, we had a big announcement on Friday, sort of a bonus announcement, and that is the Raging Bull Manny Fernandez. And it says the Raging Bull Manny Fernandez will hit your promotion in Legends Expansion 6. Fernandez began his career in the Southwest United States and worked his way through the Midwest, Southern, and Mid-Atlantic. Fernandez formed a exciting tag team with his friend Boogie Woogie Man Jimmy Valiant before turning his back on Valiant in a violent feud. Will they be friends or resume their feud? Fernandez also feuded with Tully Blanchard, Don Morocco, Ivan Koloff, and the Rock and Roll Express. So Manny Fernandez is coming. I don't know anything about Manny Fernandez. I looked up some footage of him, and I know he was in a tag team with Rick Rude and stuff like that. I honestly, he was not someone I watched as a kid. He was not on my radar. And this actually brought up an interesting discussion with Manny Fernandez announced, and then also Gordon Soley announced as one of the cards in this 12-card set. Some people were saying like, well, wait, we thought this set was a Northeast wrestling, 1980s wrestling Northeast, meaning the WWF set. And a Filsinger Games rep, I believe it was Mike, said that the set is more of a general 80s set now. It is sort of morphed. So it's not, there's going to be a lot of WWF guys from the 80s, but it also kind of morphed to include some of these other folks like Gordon Soley and Manny Fernandez. Certainly excited to get Gordon Soley in there because I know who he is. Looking forward to researching more on Manny Fernandez and possibly bringing him in. I don't know. We will see into my own Fed. And then just minutes ago, ladies and gentlemen, not even 30 minutes ago, the big announcement, Hillbilly Jim, one of the most highly requested wrestlers on the low roster. Hillbilly Jim is coming to Legends Expansion 6. Jim was a good old boy hailing from Mudlick, Kentucky, who was a fan favorite in the 1980s. And Hillbilly Jim feuded with Brutus Beefcake, Greg Valentine, and King Kong Bundy, among others. Who will Jim battle in your promotion? It's up to you, promoter, in Legends Expansion 6. Now, this announcement, certainly excited, and I use Hillbilly Jim. I use his black and white card in my Fed, so certainly looking forward to giving him the color upgrade in my Fed. And just a super great announcement, and definitely a card that I will be using. It was also said just today, actually, that, you know what? I want to look at the roster. So here we go. We've got the roster for Expansion 6. In order of announcements, we've got Don Morocco, Coco Beware, Cowboy Bob Orton, Dynamite Kid, Davey Boy Smith. Oh, this isn't order of release, obviously, because I would have started with Warlord and Barbarian. Dynamite Kid, Davey Boy Smith, Adrian Adonis, Warlord, Barbarian, Gordon Soley, Manny Fernandez, and now Hillbilly Jim. So we've got one slot left in the set. One name left. We've got 3 special edition cards, Mr. Fuji, Captain Lou, and the Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart, and then 3 promoter prime cards. And it was announced today on the message boards that we are not going to know any more names until the sets are in promoters' hands. And if the promoters post about them or whatever, then we will hear about the sets. But I guess Tom has said no more teasers, no more spoilers. So the 12th member of the main set and the 3 promoter prime cards are a mystery. But that said, they said that the 4 remaining cards, the one for the main set and the 3 promoter prime cards, will not be new names. They will be, and I think that implies, they just said they will not be new names. So to me, that implies, I just don't want to say for a fact, but to me, that implies that they are color updates of previously released black and white cards. So either way, that's great news, because hopefully they kind of stick with this mostly WWF theme, and we'll get some more WWF guys in there, because a lot of those cards can certainly use the color updating. Let's see, who would I want? I definitely want, if it's only color upgrades, the Killer Bees would be great. George the Animal Steel would be great, especially since we're getting a Captain Lou Albano card. Rick Rude would be great. There's a lot, of course, Piper would be fun, but there's always somewhat of a sticky issue there. An Andre card would be great. But anyway, I'm super excited to see, and you better believe, as I said in the beginning, I'll be camping out at my mailbox. Expansion 6 is available for pre-order right now and will be shipping very, very soon. I just want to say, because I can see in the chat, someone said Rick Rude. Yeah, it might be. I'm not saying Rick Rude is in there. I would love Rick Rude. Rick Rude would be great. That is just a wish for me. So I do not want to, I don't want to get in any trouble for saying that it is somebody, because I don't know anybody. Yeah, SD Jones. People are saying SD Jones. People are saying Rick Rude. Steve Tower is saying, could it be the Honky Tonk Man? You would hear me yelling all the way from Southern California if it was the Honky Tonk Man. Look at this lineup. This lineup is so fantastic. Don Morocco, Coco Beware, Cowboy Bob Orton, Dynamite Kid, Davey Boy Smith, the British Bulldogs, Adrian Adonis, Warlord, Barbarian, Gordon Soley, Manny Fernandez, Hillbilly Jim, and then the 3 SE cards announced: Mr. Fuji, Captain Lou, and Jimmy Hart. The reason I would love a Killer Bees is to really bolster the tag team ranks, because we don't have a lot of 80s WWF tag teams. So that would be awesome. All right, we're mixing things up a little bit here. We usually save the song of the show to the end, but the question of the show has become so popular, I'm moving that to the end. So right now we have a song for the song of the show, and what this segment of the show is this is a song that is either by or about a wrestler who has a song or who has a card in Legends of Wrestling. And I wanted to play something by Classy Freddie Blassie, and I know what everyone was thinking is, oh, you'll play Pencil Neck Geek by Classy Freddie Blassie. No, I was going to, but then I found out that Classy Freddie Blassie has a song that has the name of a Champions of the Galaxy character as its title. Let me say that again. Classy Freddie Blassie released a song that the name of that song is the name of a Champions of the Galaxy character. And so when I saw that, I just had to play this. Here is Classy Freddie Blassie with U.S. Mail.
I'm a U.S. male, because I was born in a Missouri town on a Sunday morning. Now, Missouri just happens to occupy a place in the Midwestern portion of this here United States. Now, that's a matter of fact, buddy, and you know it well. So I just call myself the U.S. male. That's M-A-L-E, son. That's me. Now, I said all that, and I'll say all this. I've been watching the way you've been watching my miss. For the last 3 weeks, you've been hot on her trail. You're kind of upsetting this U.S. male. You touch her once with your greasy hand, I'm going to stretch your neck like a long rubber band. She's wearing a ring that I bought her on sale that makes her the property of this U.S. male. Better not mess with the U.S. male, my friend. The U.S. male gets mad, he's going to do you in. If you know what's good for yourself, son, you better find somebody else, son. Don't tamper with the property of the U.S. mail. All right, do you read me? Hit it. Through the rain and the heat and the sleet and the snow, this U.S. mail is on his toes. So quit watching my woman, cause that ain't wise. Soon you'll be watching my fist heading right for your eyes. Yeah, I get you around my woman, champ. I'm gonna leave your head about the shape of a stamp. Kinda flattened out. So you'll do well to quit playing games with this U.S. mail. Better not mess with the U.S. mail, my friend. The U.S. mail gets mad, he's going to do you in. If you know what's good for yourself, son, you better find somebody else, son. Don't tamper with the property of the U.S. mail. All right, boys, put some meat on the grill. Get that chili dipper. That's it, kick it. Now. I'm going to tell you like it is, son. I catch you messing on that woman of mine, I'm going to lay one on you. You talking to the U.S. mail, the American U.S. mail.
There you go, classy Freddie Blassie with U.S. Mail, the song of the show here this week. Solely fun, just fun. You wouldn't think classy Freddie Blassie would be, I'm going to go in and record an album, but he did. That song was produced by Johnny Legend, who also directed the My Dinner with Blassie movie that starred classy Freddie Blassie and Andy Kaufman. Moving on now, elsewhere on the channel, you probably noticed that there hasn't been a lot of other things on the channel. And actually, Michael Brada sent me an email just making sure that I was okay, making sure I hadn't fallen off the map because I haven't done any live streams this week. And I've been working on this new project for my feds and something fun for promoters that I was going to send to all my fellow promoters as sort of a holiday, New Year's little gift. And literally all my free time for Filsinger Games stuff has gone into that this week. And I thought I had it about this morning ready to like, okay, good, this is good. I can get this printed up. I can get this, start mailing this out. And then I found this whole treasure trove of things that will help me add to it. So anyway, but I'm hoping to play the next night of the Tournament of Champions tomorrow. So keep an eye out for that. It's going to be an interesting 8-man tournament because it's Promoter Prime guys, and some of those early Legends of Wrestling Promoter Prime guys, it's like Sin Bodhi and a couple of guys who I'm not that familiar with. So it's going to be really interesting because there are definitely a lot of cards. I think the whole the whole tournament is cards that I've never played with before. So I'm looking forward to that. All right, moving on to the question of the show. Last week's question had a lot of great responses. And the question was, should there be a years as pro requirement for the Legends of Wrestling? And we had a ton of answers, and they were really good. So let's go through them really quick. Salvador America says, okay, that's a tough question now. I believe that would be a great idea. I am in favor of that. Know the history before you worry about the wrestlers of today. Joe M says 20 to 25 years since their debut is a good idea. The cards we got for currently active guys a few years ago quickly became outdated, like Claudio Castagnoli, Tyler Black, Bryan Danielson, and Jon Moxley. Chad Olson, Legends team, says if you apply that 25-year logic, Eddie Gilbert, Kerry Von Erich, Eddie Guerrero, Rick Rude, among others, wouldn't be eligible for Legends, not to mention the current stars like Brock Lesnar. And he had said in another message that Brock Lesnar is not signed, so nobody get their hopes up. I do think some time frame will be good, but maybe it needs to be shorter, like 10 to 15 years. Keith Simmons says, I don't want to put any limits on wrestlers we could potentially get in this game. Totally agree with you. I don't think there should be limits. Like Chad said, we are missing out on a lot of good talent. And I love this. Markham said, 25 years since debuting is a pretty good amount of time to be considered a legend. Wouldn't mean that they had to have a lengthy career, but if you want old school retro feel, you wouldn't necessarily want current guys. Keep in mind, the definition of old school shifts depending on how old you are. Yeah, I'm 46. I'm totally with you there. Even the guys from the Attitude Monday Night Wars area will be approaching legend status. The very newest episodes of WCW Nitro, for example, will be from nearly 20 years back. I personally think of Legends of Wrestling coming out of the territory days of the late 70s through the 80s. It makes me feel really old. I'm right there with you, Mark, and you're not alone. Thomas Morgan says, I agree that legends who have, say, 20 to 25 years in the wrestling business should get the spot. I would love to see more enhancement talent like Rocky King and more well-known people like Iron Mike Sharp and others like Frankie Williams. Zany Steve says, a 5 to 8 year minimum career would be the minimum if a wrestler had won a legitimate World Heavyweight Singles Championship, and then listed a bunch of AWA, WWF, all these different organizations. He or she should be eligible. And then that's Mark's just quote again, and there's Chad's quote again because I did a horrible time editing that. Steve Tower says, shout out to everyone in their mid-40s. Whoop, whoop. We're totally lit. Isn't that what the kids say? I don't know. Here's the question for this week, and this came up on the message board, so I would love to get your info on this. Should Filsinger Games post a set's entire roster when the pre-orders go live? There's been a lot of discussion about should the entire Legends roster be posted when the pre-orders go live or just before the set is released. And now today we have Tom saying through Todd that the last 4 names or the last name of the set and then the 3 Promoter Prime names are going to be kept quiet. What do you think? Should Filsinger Games post a set's entire roster when pre-orders go live? And this could go to what do you call it? Champions of the Galaxy, the Indies. It could go for Legends. So let me know in the comments of the YouTube video, not in the chat, in the comment videos, because I will lose them if you just post them in the chat. But I do appreciate the chatting here. Chad Olson says, speaking of being old, is it bad that I'm listening on my phone and reading on my laptop because the font is too small on my phone? Chad, I'm wearing glasses with a high prescription, reading glasses with a high prescription to read your comment. So there you go. That answers that question, or at least it should. Well, that is going to do it for this episode of the Filsinger Games Fan Podcast. Now, if you're looking for more Filsinger Games podcast fun, check out Uncharted Territory and King of Pro Wrestling. The links will be in the show notes for these episodes. There is also an audio version of this podcast. So if you want to watch the video, if you want to listen to it, you can. It's available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Just search Filsinger Games and you will check it out. I will say that the Uncharted Territory is I think, it's so good. I just devour each episode when it comes out. And it is because of the Uncharted Territory that there was no live streaming this week. And when I'm ready to announce this project, I will explain why and lay blame where it should be laid. If you have a topic you'd like to cover on the show, you can leave it in the comments. Make sure to subscribe, whether you're watching on YouTube or Twitch. If we are going out to Twitch, there was some issue with Restream's API this afternoon, so I don't know if it's going. And thanks for watching on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. You can check out my personal feds at gwfpromoter.com and lowpromoter.com. The theme song for this show is American Guy by Throwing Toasters, used by permission and available on Apple Music, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your music. This podcast is not affiliated in any way with Filsinger Games or its subsidiaries. It's purely for entertainment purposes. This episode is copyright 2020 Saturday Morning Media. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. I want to give a big shout out to Steve, Chad, Michael, Master Search, if I'm saying that correctly. Welcome, Master Search. Joe, thank you for being in here as well. And I think I got everybody there who was chatting in the chat. Thank you to everybody who's listening at home as well. You are all awesome. Leave your comments, and I will talk to you soon. Good night, everybody. Talk to you next week.